Hi, it's Mike Ferry, and welcome back to Mike Ferry TV. If you're watching this for the first time, which we have new viewers every week taking place with us, we do this every week. Every week I'm going to take the time to film a 10 to 15, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter segment on some of the thoughts that we believe can help you sell more real estate if, of course, you want to sell real estate. If you've been watching Mike Ferry TV for a while, welcome back. It's the week of June 2nd, 2014, and as I stated last week, I'm amazed at how fast these days, weeks, and months are going by for all of us. I hope you're on track. What we did 3 or 4 weeks ago is we started going through what we refer to as the blueprints that agents have designed for themselves on how they have gone about building their business and succeeding. Last week we took a break from that and we talked about some of the issues you face in lead generation and prospecting, and today we're coming back to those blueprints. At the retreat, I guess it would be last summer now, we had a young lady on the stage with me. I think she's in her early to mid 20s now, and a very dynamic young lady. In fact, I think what she said caught a lot of the people in the audience off guard, because here she is, probably 24, 25 years old, doing 120, 130, 140 transactions a year in, of all places, a city in Oklahoma. And what makes her so unique is the fact that, and this is of course a big plus, which many of us don't have, and as she would tell you, that she had the good fortune, and this is, and I will state it, the very, very good fortune, excuse me because my eyes are watering, of having a father, Gordon Watson, who is a dynamic real estate agent for many, many years and a great coach for the Mike Ferry Organization. So virtually at age 16, she was exposed to the stuff we're talking about today. So at age 16, 17, 18, she was listening to her dad prospect, watching him go on presentations, learning the sales business as you and I know it. When she was 18, she got her license, went in full-time to real estate, and has built an amazing career for herself. If you were there to watch her, you were impressed with what she said. So let's go through her blueprint. Very detailed, very direct, and one I want you to take careful note of, and if you're going to take notes, now's the time to start writing. Here's what she said, number one on her blueprint. When I started in the business, I prospected, listen to this, 5 hours a day to build my business. Since then, I prospect with no exceptions 5 days a week, 50 contacts a day. Through memorization and role play, I've learned to make the scripts a conversation so I can work with all the personality styles. I'm not asking, I'm not suggesting, I don't anticipate that most of you would ever prospect 5 hours a day. Oh, you should, and if you did, you'd make a lot more money. You'd certainly be a lot more successful, but I anticipate and I expect that most of you won't. Can you imagine if you actually prospected 5 hours a day? And today, and she admits now she's just talking to 50 people a day about buying and selling real estate, does it 5 days a week. But what she did, which was smart, is she learned the scripts. And the scripts then became part of her. So it's not Mike Ferry's scripts, it's Breann Llewelyn's script. It's the words we suggest going through her brain, out of her mouth, into her prospects' ears, so they can then decide how they want to work with her. The scripts become part of who you are as you practice and role play, as Breann pointed out so well. Number two, regarding scheduling and time management. We all have the same number of hours in a day, which is 24. I look at how to make my time more productive. My job is to spend as many productive hours per day as possible. My goal is at least 60% of my time is productive. She's tough, she's strong, great father, great mother, great leaders, great coach, helping her, but she's become acutely aware that time management is the name of the game, and that 60% of her day has to be involved in productive activities. Number three, setting goals. My goals are the driving force of what I do and why I continue to push myself. I connect my goals to my prospecting. My goals become the roadmap to where I want to go, and I can see where I've been, which makes the business a lot more fun. I think all of us recognize that selling real estate in any level, whether it be 2 deals a year or 200, is stressful. If you're doing 2 deals a year, it's stressful because you're not making enough money. At 200, trying to keep track is very stressful. So what she's done is she sets very specific goals for herself, and then she connects the dots between the prospecting she does every day, because Breann is a wonderful prospector, and those goals she set. If you have a picture of a goal out here that you want to accomplish and you really want to make it happen, and you know that prospecting is a challenge, if you say that goal is achieved through this work today, you become more productive. Number four, staffing. I hired my first assistant my first year. I have a system in place for the assistant to do the work so I can stay highly productive. Number 5, her past clients and centers of influence. This was interesting. Now listen carefully. This is the group that I resisted talking to my first few years, and I'm not really sure why I resisted. The last 2 years in working with this group, the way Mike teaches, my business has grown to now 40% of my total business comes from my past clients and centers of influence. Guys and gals, I'm not sure why so many of you fight contacting the one group of people that would like to help you the most, because past clients, centers of influence, they would like to help you. They want to give you the leads. They want to give you the referrals, but you have to talk to them. Very common that people in real estate for any length of time fight this point, and boy, once you overcome that battle, you win on a regular basis. Her 6th point in her blueprint was 2 words: customer service. And I want you to listen now to the quote that she read to the audience at the retreat this last year. The faster I sell their home, the happier they are, and the better they think the customer service is. Interesting, isn't it? The faster I sell the home, the happier they are, which is always the case. And the better they think the customer service is. This is a major key to keeping my business growing, and it creates repeat and referral business that, of course, I want. The best business is dealing with those people you've dealt with before, and referrals from those people that know you and respect you and trust you in the real estate business. Number 8, she talks about lead follow-up. 75% of my business comes from my lead follow-up program. I don't use a computer. I keep the leads on 3x5 cards, and they're with me at all times. I call my hot leads 2 or 3 times a day until I reach them or I throw them away. My belief is that lead follow-up is a great way to show the seller how I'm going to care for them once I have their home listed. You know, sellers will say, what are you going to do to get my home sold? She goes, well, when I get a lead, I'm going to call that lead aggressively until either they buy the house or we find the next buyer. And I'm going to demonstrate to you, as calling you all the time as a seller, until you sign a contract, on how aggressive I need to be to get your home sold. So her lead follow-up is an example of what she does with the seller themselves. Number 9 is a fun one: coaching. Watch. I was lucky to have known Mike long before, it's number 8, excuse me, I ever started selling real estate. I'm lucky that my father, Gordon Watson, trained me until I graduated from high school. My coaching calls today each week are my reality check. Isn't that interesting? Most of us don't want a reality check. We want to live in our little fantasy land. We've got this lead card that we've had for 5 months, and you know, if they ever buy, I'm going to make $8,000. Well, her reality check is they're not going to buy. Have I accomplished what I'm supposed to have done this past week? What changes do I have to make? How do I become a better salesperson? I look at these types of questions every week through the coaching that I have. Guys and gals, the best coaching company in America, and of course now because we're working all over the world, the best coaching company globally to help you. Why are you avoiding it? Number 9, her listing presentation. Now listen carefully. I have an 80% closing ratio on the presentations I go on. Meaning, she goes on 5-10 presentations, 8 times they sign a contract. She goes, why? Because I simply follow Mike's listing process every time. Pre-qualify 100%. Mail or deliver the pre-listing package. Call back and confirm. Be there physically, mentally, and emotionally strong, and follow the scripts. They always get a pre-listing package, and when I get to the home, I follow the script, and 50% of them list using the 1-minute presentation. Wow. 50% of them list virtually like that. And number 10 on her checklist for Breann, mindset. I typically take 2 or 3 mindset breaks throughout the course of the day to keep my head in the right place. I chant my affirmations out loud every morning before I get on the phones. I'm constantly reading, listening to books that Mike recommends while I'm in the car. I have to tell you, I am real lucky because we have so many people like Breann Llewelyn that understand that this is a business, this is a job, this is what I have to learn, this is what I have to do. You take this checklist, you take this blueprint that Breann outlined for us, and you start doing them, and guess what's going to happen to you? Better results, better production, better income, and a better life. I'm hoping what we talked about today leads you in that direction. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.